To all my agents out there, quick question. Is your audience still on Facebook? Hey, this is Martin Taggart, Team Real Estate, powered by the King Kong that is EXP, publicly traded worldwide. All that kind of cool stuff. So, over the course of the past year, we've seen some changes in social media, and we've seen some changes along the lines of demographics as to where people are leaking out to. And I say leaking out because the life raft they're leaving is Facebook. Facebook, which was once the backyard barbecue of all that was social media, has now had a pretty significant change in its numbers with regards to the reactions folks are getting online and generating responses. With Facebook, it's now become much more important to seek a specific response, like a survey or a yes/no, than it is to just post content. Which, side note, if you're one of those people that just loves posting content, my hat's off to you. But if it's not with the purpose of engagement, I guess you're making your ego feel better. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but let's just call it what it is. If your social media work is not designed to generate engagement, it's likely pretty worthless. Someone out there is going to disagree with me. They're going to say, somebody wants to see this content, I just don't know who it is yet. Well, that's where I think originality comes into play, and maybe you want to stop posting the content you're seeing, or if you're going to post content that you've seen, you're going to need a wrinkle to it that makes it more relevant to people, adds more value. I hope that makes sense. So with Facebook having less and less interaction, we see people moving to different places. Obviously, YouTube and YouTube ads are awesome because YouTube is the learner's channel. That's where you go when you want to learn more. Not only that, but if you're doing long form video, and my videographer Kevin and I kind of go back and forth on this, I think long form video is more than 5 minutes. Kevin, what do you think?
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. So what do you think? So I say 5 is the limit. He says 7, 8, 9. So under 10 is the limit. No matter where you are in that conversation, what it comes down to is YouTube is probably the best platform for you if that's where you intend on going, because people don't mind listening a little bit longer to YouTube videos. Not only that, but YouTube is frequently that video channel that's playing in the background for some folks. Not only that they can turn the sound off, hit closed caption, and they can watch the words fly by. So if they're in a crowded place and they can't listen to it, no big deal. TikTok is obviously booming. Kevin and I go back and forth on TikTok because I see the value in TikTok in terms of its overall audience reach, and Kevin assures me it's super inexpensive to run ads on. The other side, though, is that TikTok is still chock full of content creators who use a whole bunch of spammy clickbait titles to get you to look at stuff that has nothing to do with what the spammy clickbait title alluded to. So there's a lot of bait and switch that happens on that platform, and you need to be really careful that what you post as subject lines and titles and all those kind of things, your graphics, are 100% connected to your subject matter. Otherwise, it's really good to end up with what amounts to a thumbs down a whole lot of times. Finally, we head over to Instagram. So Instagram at one point was Facebook's immature second cousin, where people went to post photos of themselves in a bikini. Well, Instagram has grown up a lot over the course of the past 12 to 14, 15 months. And now Instagram is more of a channel of choice for people who are abandoning the Facebook lifeboat that we talked about. So even though, think of it this way, even though those two tornadoes are in the same storm front, they don't attract the same kind of damage. So Facebook is attracting the mobile homes worth of damage, and Instagram is attracting a lot of expensive people who live in expensive homes kind of damage. This isn't about the demographics of either platform. This is just about preferences in terms of who's ending up using what. Also, Instagram is much less expensive to advertise on than Facebook. Facebook has some really interesting limitations for people in my industry. So for example, in real estate, according to Fair Housing, we can only go after if we're using an open audience, not a customized or closed audience. We can only go after people within a 15-mile radius. We can no longer choose homeowners because that was viewed as being discriminatory against non-homeowners. We can't choose people based on income levels anymore in real estate. The rules are constantly changing on Facebook, and really that's because, for all intents and purposes, Facebook operates much less like a content hosting site and much more like a content creator platform. So we could get into that and spend a whole bunch of time, but that's kind of not the deal. Bottom line is there's fewer people on that platform than on others. There are other platforms as well that you can get involved with. So YouTube is a cousin of Google and shares a lot of the same algorithms in terms of the way that they push their content out to different demographics. But there is Google at large still, and Google at large allows you to run Google ads and things like that on its platform that don't cross over to YouTube. So, and Google ads are probably going to look more like carousel ads of individual images or carousels of short-term videos or a single page static ad, whereas YouTube is a video. And if you want to run an ad, your ad is likely going to be a video because that's why you go to YouTube, to watch the videos. Anyhow, just a little bit of an overview of what's taking place as difference in social media. I'm going to finish with my pro tip and my recommendation on this. Number one, you're going to have to choose the platform that best fits your budget. All these platforms have different charges to get at your target audience. Number two, you're going to have to choose the platform that best reflects your preferred customer base. Fact of the matter is, you should be able to advertise to whatever group, large or small, that fits your business. You shouldn't have somebody telling you you're not allowed to bifurcate or you're not allowed to be as granular as you'd like in terms of pinpointing the people that you like to talk to. Choose a platform that enables your ability to be as specific as you would like to be. So for that reason, I personally prefer to do work on Google because truth be known, I have the ability to look very granularly at the folks that I want to help buy and sell homes or invest in real estate. If you're just starting off your career, you might not want to be as granular as I am. You might want to take a more all is better approach. I totally relate to that. I'm down with that. To finish up on that pro tip, after you've decided who you're going to go after and how much you want to spend, the last thing you want to take a look at is the type of media that you have to create to be on that platform. So as an example, what Kevin's creating for me now for YouTube isn't something that I can generally shoot easily on my phone. I hope that makes sense. If you're shooting YouTube videos on your phone, I hope that you are wildly successful until you aren't, at which point you'll be calling Kevin. But Facebook is super easy to shoot content on that doesn't have to be professionally done. Same with Instagram, and TikTok obviously runs primarily only on their app, TikTok, and that's almost all 100% mobile, isn't it, Kevin? Yeah. So again, you take a look at those three things. How much do I want to spend? Who am I aiming the ad at? How am I creating the content? That will give you an idea of where you ought to start. If not, I'll tell you what, as a bonus to you, fair viewer, down below we're going to make sure Kevin posts a link to 180 Marketing. Fantastic resource. Kevin is not available only to do the work that you see put in front of you, but also he can give you some fantastic advice on how to create content on your own, because let's face it, when we start, it typically is self-creation. Have an awesome day. Remember, life is better with the team.